Well, welcome to Lesson 55 of Saxon's second edition, Algebra 1/2. I know that book's getting kind of old, but I think it's an oldie but a goodie, and we're going to keep using it until it absolutely falls apart. Lesson 55 is on fractions and symbols of inclusion. And so I found a really neat picture here to illustrate that. We have parentheses, and we have brackets, and then we have another fancier set of brackets. Let's get right into this lesson. Alright, so here are some problems worked out. Yeah, this looks like a lot of work, a lot of steps. It really is. But we've got some fractions inside parentheses that we're going to have to add, then multiply, then subtract this one. Alright, so let's add these first. We have to get a common denominator. We know that it's 16. We get our equivalent fractions, and then we add those two, and we get 11/16. Now we can put that back in the parentheses, and we need to multiply this times 3/2 because that's our order of operations, remember. Multiplication, division before any addition or subtraction, except if it is in a symbol of inclusion like parentheses. Alright, so 3 times 11 is 33, 2 times 16 is 32. Now we have 33/32 minus 1/8. So let's come over here and do that math. So we have a common denominator of 32. And this one's going to stay the same. This one is going to become 4/32. And when we subtract 4 from 33, we get 29/32, and that's our final answer. Alright, here now the first thing we're going to do here is change this into an improper fraction, and it is going to become 13/4. And then we have 13/4 minus 1/8. Got to get a common denominator. It's going to be 8. Change this one, and you've got 26/8 minus 1/8. For 25/8 is what the parentheses, what's inside the parentheses. Then we're going to do our multiplication. 1 times 25 is 25. 3 times 8 is 24. So then we've got 25/24. And because we're going to have to add that to 1/48, we're going to need to get a common denominator. It's going to be 48. 24 times 2 is 48, so 25 times 2 is 50. And we're adding, so 50 plus 1, 51/48. And if you divide both those numbers by 3, you'll get 17/6. Alright, now this one's going to add a few more steps. We've got 2 sets of parentheses inside the brackets. So our order of operations is we're going to do this one, we're going to do this one, then we're going to add those two, and then we are going to multiply those by 2/5. Alright, so 2/3 minus 1/6. 2/3 is 4/6 minus 1/6 is 3/6. 3/6 reduces to 1/2, so now we've got 1/2 right there. Then we're going to add 1/3 plus 5/6. Well, 1/3 is the same as 2/6. 2/6 plus 5/6 is 7/6. So all of this reduces to 7/6. Now I'm going to have to add these two fractions, 1/2 and 7/6. Common denominator is 6. This one becomes 3/6. 3 plus 7 is 10/6. Now I'm going to multiply 10/6 times 2/5, and when I do, I can cross cancel. This 10 becomes a 2, this 5 becomes a 1, this 2 becomes a 1, this 6 becomes a 3. 1/1 is just 1, so I'm left with 2/3. Was that a lot of work? Yes, it was. Get used to it. Algebra is going to build on itself like this, and your problems are going to start taking a little bit longer to do. You're going to have to show all of your work. So yeah, you're going to have to use more paper. but this is what we're requiring, so you need to make sure that you do it just like I'm doing it here. Alright, your practice problems, I've already done the first one. The second one we'll do together. So here we've got 4/5 minus 1/2. We'll need to do that. I've done that right here. 4/5 is the same as 8/10. 1/2 is 5/10. We're subtracting those two, so we get 3/10. So now right here, instead of this, we've got 3/10. Then we're going to add 1/6 plus 1/3. Well, I know that common denominator is 6. 1/3 is equal to 2/6. So when I add those two, I get 3/6, which reduces to 1/2. Now I have 3/10 plus 1/2. So what am I going to have to do? Well, I'm going to have to add them. And that's what I'm doing right here. 3/10, 1/2 is the same as 5/10, so that is 8/10, which reduces to 4/5. Now that I've reduced it to 4/5, I'm going to multiply by 3/4. This 4 and this 4 cancel out, leaving me with this 3 on top, this 5 on the bottom. 3/5 is my final answer. Okay, finally, now the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take this 2.5 and we're going to make it an improper fraction, so it would be 5/2 minus 1/7. I'm going to have to get a common denominator. You guys know what it is. It's 14. 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. We are subtracting. So 35 minus 2 is 33/14. So we've got 1/4 times 33/14. We can't really cross cancel anywhere, so we'll just multiply that out. 1 times 33 is, let's bring this down so we don't forget it, is 33, and 14 times 4 is 56. Now we're going to come in and add this 1/28. Now I know that the common denominator for these two is going to be 56, because 28 times 2 is 56. So that becomes 256. This stays 37. When we add 37 and 2, we get 39/56, and that is our final answer. See, it really didn't take all that long. You guys are getting good at finding your common denominators and your equivalent fractions. That's half the battle. Alright, remembering order of operations is the rest of the battle, and showing all your work. Good luck. I'll see you back tomorrow for lesson 55.